Hey there. Welcome to lesson 2 of week 1 in our series of embracing your authenticity for this week. So, we talk a lot about unconditional love and radical acceptance. So, let's dig into it a little bit more. Before we do that, I'm a big fan of science and data and facts. And here's the thing, you can find hundreds of studies of this, but I just wanted to showcase a couple of them. And the reference is on the bottom right side of this screen if you want to look the studies up. But if you think about the study around the impact of music, so hearing good things, hearing good sounds, on the growth of mung bean plants, riveting, I know, but they exposed them to classical Indian music. And true to science, they exhibited faster growth, increased mass, larger leaf size. Now I know we're not all trying to get bigger, but the reality is positive sounds, such as music, classical Indian music, stimulate growth. Similarly, there was a study that investigated the impact of positive self-perceptions on life satisfaction. And at the end of the day, the studies found that individuals who reported higher levels of self-esteem and positive self-regard had way more life satisfaction and subjective happiness. I know that's why you're here. We're increasing your loving yourself with complete confidence and radical acceptance, so that's why you joined us. So you're on cutting edge of science. But anyway, let's carry on. I want you to really think about, sometimes I find with visuals it's way easier, but I want you to think about a balloon, for example. Every time negativity or negative thoughts or doubts or self-talk hits that balloon, each time it deflates a little bit more and more and more. This can be fear, anxiety, self-talk, whatever it is. I want you to visualize a balloon deflating every time you do that. And directly opposite, processing it, talking about it, working through it, as we talk about a lot at Global Divine Alchemy, going through the mucky mud to get to the other side of it. It raises the vibration and energy, and it inflates your balloon. So think about that for a minute. Deflating and inflating. It can really impact you on a soul level, on a body level, on a mind level, on a heart level. Acknowledge the impact. So people talk a lot about unconditional love. And so let's define unconditional love. And when we're talking about this, I want you to think about those in your life for a minute. I want you to think about a son, a daughter. I want you to think about a parent. I want you to think about your best friend. I really want you to think about an example as we're talking through this. So what is unconditional love really? There's many dimensions of unconditional love, but let's define it this way. So it's an enduring commitment to their well-being and happiness, despite changes, despite things that show up, despite their flaws, despite their weaknesses, despite challenges that come up. It's a commitment to unconditionally loving them. You've committed that to them. Secondly, you accept them for exactly how they are, flaws and all, embracing their entirety. You don't judge them. Things can change. You still love them. You have radical acceptance of them, right? When things happen, you let go of your resentment for them. You let go of the grievances. You give them ultimate forgiveness and grace. You don't hold their past mistakes against them. You love them unconditionally. And lastly, you have compassion and empathy for their experiences, their emotions. And within that, you offer them support, understanding, comfort, whatever it is they need at the time. So think about those, process those for a minute. Think about your person that you're unconditionally loving to for a minute. Okay, so we thought about the person that you are unconditionally loving towards. Do you do that with yourself Do you radically accept yourself? Do you give yourself unconditional love? We just talked about unconditional love. You'll see on the screen at the top. It's enduring commitment, radical acceptance, forgiveness and grace, compassion and empathy. So when you look at yourself, do you give yourself self-acceptance? Do you acknowledge your own thoughts, feelings, and experiences without resistance, without judgment? Do you let go of self-criticism, shame, negatively evaluating yourself? Do you embrace all your ish, as we call it, owning your own ish? Are you compassionate? Are you forgiving? Do you treat yourself with the same kindness and care? Do you forgive yourself? Do you validate your own emotions and experiences? Or do you continue to have self-doubt or negative talk? Really think about integrating and unconditionally loving parts of you that you perceive as undesirable or unloved, or that other people think less of you. Often these are repressed, they're denied, they're under, as we like to say, submerged under the iceberg. Acknowledge and embrace the aspects of yourself that may be uncomfortable or difficult to confront. Unconditional love of self allows you to love other people better, stronger, faster, quite honestly. And why are we not giving unconditional love to ourselves like we would give to those other people? So really think about that. By embracing and integrating those aspects of yourself through, one, radical acceptance, right? Unconditionally loving yourself exactly how you are, warts and all, flaws and all, perceptions and all. And taking ownership of your ish, that baggage you're carrying, the experiences you experienced, just owning it and loving it and accepting it and giving yourself grace. We can cultivate that deep sense of self-worth, self-confidence, radical acceptance of selves, and experience personal growth. Because the reality is, radically accepting yourself, really, really radically accepting yourself, and unconditionally loving yourself is that foundational building block to growth, to self-love, to everything that you are, everything that maximizes your truest, authentic self. So we talk about self-love a lot. And in the first lesson, we talked about the components of you and how you perceive yourself. But let's define self-love a little bit more. So here's what self-love is. And some of these definitions you'll see will overlap with what we've gone over before. But self-love is unconditional acceptance. It's an appreciation and the embracing of yourself, even when it's complicated, without judgment, and valuing your own worthiness and value. Inherently understanding your worth, understanding you are amazing, you are enough. It's compassionate self-care. It's prioritizing your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, however that means to you. It's positive self-talk. It's honoring yourself. It's giving yourself kindness and compassion. It's doing nourishing practices and setting up healthy boundaries with others. It's saying no. It's taking walks in nature. It's prioritizing you and giving yourself the unconditional love that you give so many other people. It's authentic self-expression. It's saying exactly what you want, truest to your truest self, free from how others are going to perceive it, free from the pressures to conform. It's living authentically and unapologetically, and trusting your wisdom and intuition, trusting your inner self, being true to who you are. It's empowered self-advocacy. It's standing up for yourself. It's asserting your own standards. It's knowing your worth. It's refusing to settle for anything less than what serves your best and your highest good. It's really advocating for yourself, and it's knowing your worth. All of those things we do with our unconditional love for others. We're their biggest advocate. But you should be your own biggest advocate. That's the self-love. And so when you start to do that, what happens? You have benefits of self-love, improved mental and emotional well-being, right? You're more resilient in the face of challenges because you accept and are compassionate and content from within. You're less prone when challenges come up to self-criticism, to having it tamper down your power. It also enhances your self-confidence and self-esteem. It empowers you to pursue things with courage and conviction. It boosts your confidence and your competence, right? And as a result, you have stronger and healthier relationships. When you're able to set boundaries and you're able to communicate your own needs, you then honor yourself. And so you don't resent how you manage relationships because you're establishing the boundaries that are and aren't okay for you. And you're choosing partners who treat you with respect and kindness, and relationships that treat you with respect and kindness, where you receive love and deep connections and intimacy in a way that works for your authentic self. And then you're able to give fully because you're filling your own quote unquote cup of love. It also increases your self-compassion. As you reflect on challenges or you reflect on obstacles, you recognize that there's lessons. You're going to make mistakes. You see them as opportunities for growth instead of big, fat gorillas that are standing in your way. And success begets success, right? So the more you do it, it creates momentum. The more you win, the more willing you are to take a chance on things. And lastly, it adds to fulfillment and life satisfaction. That's why you're here, right, in this quest. You're honoring your well-being and happiness. You have deeper sense of yourself, your purpose, your meaning in life. You're living in alignment, ultimately, with your true self. So why are you important, right? Why are you important in this world? And why is self-love and radical acceptance and complete confidence in yourself? Why is it all important? Because your authentic magic is only true to you. Being true to yourself allows for genuine connections, fulfillment, allows for your magic to come out. Embracing your identity and ish with radical acceptance brings fulfillment, not only for yourself, but also others. You're growing, you're understanding, you're living on your own truest terms, and that opens unimaginable doors. We're all about limitless as fuck, right? That's what it's all about. That's why you're here. And knowing and owning your identity and who you are and what you bring to the table actually allows empowerment for you and others because you're making choices aligned with your best life. All right, so that's the end of lesson 2. I know it was a quick one, and we talked about a lot of concepts. But lesson 3 of week 1, we're going to let's dig into you assessing exactly where you are. All right, see you there.